vehicle, change a tire, deliver gas, unlock a door, or haul to the garage or scrapyard. Wallace Towing and Recovery has you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
Nominate your cheerleader mom in the YourSportsEdge.com Sports Mom of the Month contest, presented by Jewell's Bakery and Cafe, GNC of Hopkinsville, and Save More Drugs.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouthwatering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty at 8:10. And of course, it's time for coffee talk this morning. And I love it when this lady comes over. We always have, we learn a lot when she's here, huh?
We always learn a lot when she's here, and she's always got a lot on her plate, too. And we're talking about Rhonda Jewell, our agent for 4-H here in Caldwell County. And Rhonda is housed out at the University of Kentucky Extension Office on 62 West. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here this morning.
It's good to be here.
And Rhonda carries this really cool calendar, and every time she opens it up, there's all kinds of stuff in there. She's got highlighted markers, pinks and greens and yellows, and
the
sticky
angels
notes.
Sing when she opens that
It's
thing.
just like,
You know what you know what I enjoy watching though? That thing gets thicker and thicker as the year goes on. You can watch that calendar grow. It gets.
That's a sign of a busy person.
That's right.
When the calendar is an extension of themselves.
You know what I got in the mail just the other day, Rhonda? I got a thing from 4-H.
Did you?
I did. So what else going on over there?
All right. Well, we are in the middle of our Country Ham project. We started that Saturday before last, and we're going to go back this Saturday. We salted. We go back this Saturday, and we resalt again, and then we'll go back in about a month, and then we'll rinse them, and then they'll cure, smoke for several months, and then we'll get ready for the state fair. So anyway, they need to be working on their speeches between now and then, and they all have a given topic. The juniors and seniors have a specific topic that they have to write on, and anyway, so they're just kind of in the preparations for that. So we're in the middle of that. We also just recently had our vet science last night. Dr. Rogers has had vet science for probably 35-ish. We can't remember how many years, but it's been many, many years. And anyway, he's even though Dr. Luna's taken over, they're carrying on the tradition, and we're very, very thankful for that. We had 16 kids there last night, and just did a really good, it's very interesting. It gives kids an opportunity to kind of really see what vets do and to learn, the similarities between dogs and cats and humans, and that they have a lot of the same things, and it just gives them an introductory to what vets might do, as well as learn how to be a better pet caretaker.
I started to say he really gives them a good.
Oh yeah.
By the time they're done, they really know how to take care of their pet and their animal.
And they can. It's something. It's like it continues on. And actually, our record books only go up to level 3, which will be third year. But Dr. Rogers has had some. I know I've got a 4th year. Lyon County has either a 4th or 5th year. I can't remember exactly what they have, but we've had some that have gone 6 years and have even last year was even helping to teach. So
oh wow,
so anyway, it's a really good experience for the kids, some really good external opportunity for them. So
well, you never know. Luna might do it for another 30 years.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. They both have very good takes on it, and they're just both. They make it a lot of fun as well as educational. So, and that's what it's all about. And again, we thank them very much for doing so, because they are very busy people, and it does take a lot. So we'll go in again next Tuesday night, and they'll get to learn a little bit more.
How long does the vet science last?
Usually 2 to 3 weeks. It depends. A lot of times the weather plays a toll. It just depends on really what's going on with their schedule. So
will they do like small animals inside, and then will there be a large animal section that they usually get to?
It depends. Every year is different. It depends on what they have coming in and what's going on. I know a couple of years ago, there was a bald eagle that was hurt, and they were trying to get it to a rehabilitator, which Dr. Rogers' wife she's got a wildlife rehabilitation license, but she didn't have her birds of prey. And so, anyway, she was working on it, just didn't have enough hours, but they knew that she was able to get them to Louisville. So it just so happened that it was on a Tuesday night, and they brought the eagle to her in a huge dog crate. And so it was at the office. As soon as Vet Science was over, they were going to take it to Elizabethtown to meet the people from Louisville. Well, we got to see the bald eagle. We couldn't go in the same room. We couldn't take pictures. We couldn't do anything, but we got to be up close and personal with the bald eagle, and it was amazing. It was pretty mature, so it was humongous. I bet it stood 3, maybe 3.5, maybe even 4 foot tall, just foot to head.
Beautiful birds,
just
and
really made you appreciate the majestic and strength. It was just So anyway,
and I'm glad you said that about her too, because she really puts in a lot of hard work trying to be where she can rehabilitate wild animals.
She does, and it's a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of dedication. She's also brought some different animals. She's had some little owls and hawks, and then we've had people that have brought possums and just all kinds of different things. We've had people that have brought in their horses that needed just general well care, and they got to see that. So it just depends on what's going on.
And now with them, they get to hang out with him and kind of for the day too, like at the end of it, right?
We're not sure how that's going to happen because this year they're in the process of moving. So anyway, we're just kind of trying to play it by ear, actually, and we're just grateful for anything that they can do. So because Dr. Luna bought Dr. Black's office, and they're going to be transitioning, and so it's kind of a transition time for them. So
there is no education like hands-on education.
Exactly.
So I think especially where animals come in.
Exactly.
So that's fantastic.
Yep, I agree. We've also got our American Heritage group. They meet actually the first Thursday of every night, so they'll be meeting tomorrow night. This is a group of middle school and high school. Right now it's just boys from Caldwell and Crittenden County that get together once a month. They some of them do reenactments. They're just really basically learning about early American history. I know tomorrow night they're going to be playing a constitutional game and planning the year ahead. If anybody's interested in learning more about the American heritage, if you love early American history, if you might be interested in reenacting, that's not, you don't have to, but it is part of the fun. And if they're interested, just give us a call at the Extension office, and I'll get you in contact with our leaders, and they really do some fun stuff. And in addition to that, in March, on March the 16th, they are going to have a spring muster, which is basically it's an early American history, I guess you could say, live learning event. It's held at West Kentucky 4-H Camp, and it is open to 6th through 12th graders from Caldwell, Wine, Livingston, all over the West, whoever wants to come. There are people that come from Indiana, from Illinois, from Crittenden County, but they come and they just kind of share what they do. They talk about, the kids get to dress up in the Revolutionary War attire. They get to shoot the muskets. They get to see what it's like with how they marched, and they get to shoot cannons. Get to learn about the Ojibwa Indians, and it's just a very, 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 very educational day.
Well, that's another one of those hands-on educational moments.
It is, and it's a real eye opener for some of the kids, and it just the whole goal is to teach kids about history and to get them to fall in love with history, because we need to know our history. History is important. It repeats itself, and we just need to know about our heritage. And if it costs $6, it is. If anybody's got any questions about that too, I will be telling about that a little bit more next time also.
No, we have a wonderful historical society right here in Caldwell County.
We do.
So I mean, as far as is furthering the education, if they get started with that, in 4-H, there's a great avenue to do that.
I think a lot of the same folks. I think Robert Ward's involved with your group as well.
He's our leader, and Adam Barnes in Livingston County, who is the Livingston County ag agent. He lives in Crittenden County. He is the leader there, along with several others. There's several others.
Was it maybe one of your visits? They were actually at the 4-H camp. Were they throwing with axes?
They were actually. It was at Crittenden County. They were doing a tomahawk throw.
Tomahawk throw, yeah.
And that was pretty cool. They got to do the tomahawk throw. Every now and then they get to pull out the muskets and shoot the muskets. And Adam actually makes the muskets.
Yes.
He so and sells them.
What a great experience
sells them all
that
over.
is.
It is. They actually, last month when they met, they made these leather bags that they put their ammunition in. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was it's a pretty neat get up. So
Wow.
anyway, they got to make those, and so hopefully if they get to reenact, or even hopefully just doing some camping, they'll be able to use those.
Cool
so
experience,
cool.
yeah.
It is cool. It is really, and it's neat to see them in action. So, but again, it's a real fun group. Spring muster, March the 16th. If you want to know more about it, that's no better way to find out about it than attending the spring muster. We've also got Teen Summit. The deadline for Teen Summit's coming up this Thursday. This is just an opportunity for middle school 4-Hers to have a chance to. It's a leadership conference. It's held at JBES at the Leadership Center, and there's kids from all over the state there. It's opportunities for leadership. You get to meet different people and learn different things, and really see what 4-H has to offer as an senior 4-Her. So that's always a lot of fun. And I do have one more spot left if anybody would like to fill it. We have Clover Buds that are meeting this coming Monday night. Their theme is Ready, Set, Grow, and they're going to be working on growing things, and it's going to be really exciting, really fun. We have a really good group, and again,
Good time of year for that.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is really. And the leader, Natalie Lee, gets really excited, and she goes all out, and the kids have a really good time. So got a good
Wow.
group of Clover Buds.
You know, if you can get them interested in gardening young
yeah.
like that, that's the time to do it.
Exactly. Speaking of Clover Buds, the dates for Clover Bud Camp is May the 31st. It is the last week in May. It's May the 29th, 30th, and the 31st. And this is for campers 5 through 8. They do have to go with an adult or guardian. Parent or guardian. It is just a good opportunity for kids to learn what camp is all about, to have that camping experience. It is a wonderful bonding time for parents and or grandparents with their kids. We have families that go, and really basically we should call it family camp, because it is an opportunity for families to get together and enjoy 4-H camp. So.
And then by the time, I guess, if they can experience that a couple times, by the time they're old enough for regular 4-H camp, they kind of get accustomed to it. Don't
Exactly,
they? Yeah.
exactly. And and they like to think, well, I've been to camp for 5 years, even though they're in the 3rd grade.
Now, that happens usually right before the main 4-H camp, too. It's like maybe a little
Yes.
lull, and then 4-H camp is not too far behind, isn't
It's
it?
actually the week after.
Okay.
They come home on Sunday, and we leave on Tuesday. So
Wow.
June the 2nd through the 5th is 4-H camp. Again, camp is just a good opportunity for kids to gain some independence as far as real camp goes. They gain independence. They learn new things. We have classes. They get to an opportunity to meet kids from several different counties, and just a really good chance to have some good summer fun.
It's a true camp experience,
It
isn't
is.
it? And you have some wonderful volunteers,
Yes.
Parent volunteers, and some that have been volunteering for years.
Yes.
that help you up there at that camp,
Yep.
and that's can't do it without them, can you?
No, we can't. The volunteers definitely. If it weren't for the volunteers, we wouldn't be going. But anyway, camp. You're going to be hearing a lot more about camp in the future too. Our livestock kids are. We have a group of kids from livestock that are doing Skillathon, and this is just basically. It's kind of like academic team for livestock judging. They learn about feeds. They learn about. Really, honestly, I don't know what all they learn about, because a lot of the stuff that they learn is way over my head. But
There's a lot.
It is a whole lot.
It's very involved. It's kind of like taking a college class.
It is. It is.
But it's good. It'll
very good
prepare
information.
you, especially if these kids think that they want to be involved with anything like that in
Right.
the future. Great college prep as well. I
Exactly.
mean, it's great to write on that application. So that's a good thing.
It is. They compete at the state contest on February the 22nd, and last year was the first year that we had a team. It was an intermediate team. They did very well, and we are just kind of going in this year. It's still a learning experience, and the kids have worked very hard. Lisa Trimble is their coach, and she does an awesome job, and I'm just really looking
She's
forward to it.
amazing, though.
She is.
And that's what, I don't want to get kids to not want to do it because they're scared it's going to be too hard or something like that. No. It's fun. And if anybody can make, learning fun, it's Trimble.
Right.
Lisa she's just amazing.
She is. And we're very, very lucky to have her. March 24th, we're having a fundraising breakfast, and at the Extension office, it's a country ham breakfast from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10. It's a fundraiser for camp. Our cost for camp is $210, and it hasn't gone up since last year. We've been able to raise, actually it costs about $250 to send a kid to camp, but we have sold the calendars, we have done a couple of other things, and then we're having the breakfast, and that's going to help to keep that overall cost down for everybody. But we also need money for scholarship funds and stuff like that. So this is a fundraiser for camp to help us, again, with scholarships and maybe even be able to keep that overall cost down just a little bit more. So we'll see. Again, it's country ham, pancakes, biscuits and gravy, sausage, the fixins. So come and enjoy on the 24th. And that's about it for right now.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know any other place that I would trust with a country ham like I do 4-H. I think they've got it down. I don't know about you, Ty, but...
Oh yeah, they do, and that's such a great project because each and every year, of course, Ron and Beth Drennan down at Broadbent's Hams helps out with that. Helps several of our regional counties. Yeah, so
wow.
And then
kids.
Then for this country ham breakfast, you get to sample some of the ham, and it's usually great.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm excited that you're saying that many kids are doing it because that means the interest is there. And 4-H, I love seeing that grow and grow and grow because that's such a worthwhile organization.
The fastest growing, and I'm not sure if I'm sure it still is, but the fastest growing project at the state level is country ham. Last year there were close to 770-ish.
Yeah, parents aren't stupid. We know what that means later.
Yeah,
it's like a thing that our kid loves with a payoff for us at the end.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
It doesn't get no better.
No doubt about
exactly.
it. Fantastic. Lots of stuff on the calendar. Again, if you heard something that, hey, I want to be involved, or I missed a little bit of that, Rhonda Jewell here is our agent for 4-H here in Caldwell County. You can get in touch with her out at the UK Extension Office, US 62 West. Of course, they have a little email. I think you said you received it. This is an email 4-H blip that they send out from time to time. But contact Rhonda out at the UK Extension Office. 270-365-2787 is the number to get in touch with Rhonda. So thank you so much, and thank you for what you do for our kids.
I've also heard that 4-H is kind of looking for some healthcare professionals for the camps over this summer. So,
as a matter of fact, it is time to apply for camp to apply to serve to be on camp staff. You have to be 19 and above, but the applications are online. If you want more information, please call me and I'll get you tell you exactly how to get how to apply, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's a great thing to do over the summer, so don't wait till it's too late. Thank you, Rhonda. Mm-hmm. We sure do appreciate you. Hey, it's Rhonda Jewell in the Extension Office, and it's 365-2787 at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Gretel and Hansel, PG-13. In Cinema 2, Doolittle, PG. And in Cinema 3, Bad Boys for Life, rated R. All three movies share the same showtimes of Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Hi, it's Jenny from Big Deals, and I'm trying to keep you out of the chocolate zone. What am I talking about? This is the time when you start to panic about Valentine's Day and you reach for the box of chocolates. Guys, gals, there's still time. Purchase a gift certificate or two at Big Deals today, and you'll save an additional 15% on your purchase. No code needed. Shop local, buy local with Big Deals. Click on Loyal Listener Big Deals at WPKYonline.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And I'll tell you, I know we're almost sick to death of all this water. But, that's the bad water. The good water is that nice, crisp, clean water.
It's good for us, Tess. I mean,
It
we
is good
are
for us.
over 98% water as humans. So it's good for us to drink good, clear water. It's a new year. It's a new you, right?
Well, sure.
Okay, so
It's
that
a new
means
something.
let's drink more water. And water is what we need to do this year. So,
Well, I'll tattle on
order that.
myself. I always say I don't like water. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like it. I'm not going to drink it. But you know what? That's before I tasted this. This is really good.
It's from Culligan of Western Kentucky, and now's the time. You can get it at a great price for just $20.20. Now, for $20, that's the basic install, and then it's just 20 cents a month for their first 3 months. So how about them apples? So
I like apples.
yeah. So how about that for water?
And that's the good kind of water.
Yeah, you can get that from Culligan and locations in Hopkinsville and Cadiz. If you're interested in hooking up with some good fresh water, 270-594-0853.
And there's your WPKY Weather Edge, your Weather Center forecast. Ty, what we got?
All right, here we go. And we got a chance of some water falling from the sky. Chance of rain this afternoon. May hear a clap of thunder, a high of about 41. Rain tonight as well in the forecast. Low down to 34. Chance of rain in the afternoon. Maybe a little snow ending early, a high 37. And then cloudy on Friday, a high near 40. Chance of rain and before lunch on Saturday, a high of 42. So that's into Saturday. Again for today, just a slight chance of rain. May hear some thunder if it does rain. Maybe a few storms. A high of 41 today. Currently cloudy skies. It's 39 at 8:30 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Treasures Remembered.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Only $49.99 guaranteed. Because don't just cut down, but stop smoking. In addition, lose all the weight 100% guaranteed with Mark Patrick Seminars. Let hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings and lose the weight. That's right. Seminar Tuesday, February 25th at the Wyndham Garden, formerly the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before the seminar. Info at markpatrickseminars.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk, and Carla's in the house. Who we got over there, Ty?
Yes, indeed. Carla Harper's our county executive director of our USDA office here, and I think Lyon County FSA office too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Our
offices are combined now.
So
yeah.
we service both counties.
Okay, so excellent, and we're glad
Makes it
she's here.
convenient, though.
Yeah, but boy, a lot of deadlines are coming up this time of year as spring nears for a lot of our USDA and governmental programs. So I think the ARC program, the PLC program, and CRP, and those are acronyms, I know. So we'll let you get into that and tell us a little bit more about what they are and what we need to do to get to make sure we hit those deadlines.
Okay. You mentioned ARC and PLC. Those are actually two choices you have a choice in. ARC, it stands for Agriculture Risk Coverage, and it is a income support program that could potentially provide payments when revenue falls below a guaranteed price. PLC stands for Price Loss Coverage, and it is based on an income support. So when it falls, market prices fall below an effective price, then it potentially triggers a payment too. And those, most people call it the base program.
Yep.
A lot of people still talk about DCP because that was a direct payment back. This is where it's just kind of evolved. So before you
old-fashioned tobacco base. Everybody remembers that.
Well, it's along those lines, but this is more your grain basis.
Right.
There's actually 22 different commodities that can fall into this, and I should have looked up the date because I've had a lot of people. These bases have been established years and years ago. For the most part, in Caldwell and Lyon counties, you've got corn, wheat, and soybeans. You also do have, we do have a few barley, oats bases, grain sorghum bases out there because those were raised years ago when these were established. But the three big crops mainly.
Yeah, a lot of commodities covered under these programs. Looking down here at the list, and a lot of them, just aren't around here. But
right.
big help for farmers to get in on these deadlines, and it's important that I guess, the proper paperwork is completed properly and all the information there, because that holds up or maybe cause you to miss that deadline.
It does. The big deadline coming up this year is March 15th, which that falls on the weekend, so you actually have till March 16th. But if you, and with the Farm Bill, we run a little bit behind, so we're actually signing up for 19 and 20 at the same time. Well, if you don't meet that March 15th deadline, for electing if you went ARC or PLC, then if there's a payment for 2019, which we won't know until October, you won't be eligible for that payment. So very important that we get the 2019 election and enrollment for the base program signed up. And then also while you're there, most cases we can do 19 and 20 at the same time. All the producers that are on the farm, whether they get a share of the base acres or not, have to be in agreement. So sometimes you have to get 2 or 3 people in there to sign for one contract. But March 15th, very important.
And sometimes that can be hard to do. I mean, when you're talking about wrangler and 2 of them at the same time, let alone 3, one wants to have a disc one way, one's lineman. I mean, how do you, it's hard to do.
Well, most of our producers are really good to work with. Sometimes we have landowners that, that they live out of state or whatever. We try to email, mail. We try to make it as easy as possible for whoever. So if somebody can't get in, if they'll give us a call, we'll be happy to work with them in whichever way works best.
Well, any way that they can kind of cover themselves, and I mean, that's a good idea.
So they need yield information. They need some financial records. What kind of information if they need help or with the paperwork, or what kind of things do they need to bring to the office or talk to you about?
Okay. I'm glad you brought up the yield information. This is one of those things with the Farm Bill. You never know from Farm Bill to Farm Bill, but this time they're allowing producers to update the yields on farms that have base acres. So you can bring in your yield information for 2013 through 2017. If you've got crop insurance, our insurance agents are really good about pulling those records and getting those to you. Makes life a little easier. But the landowners on the farm have to agree that, yes, that's what it is. But even those yields apply to the PLC program. But even if you opt to go to ARC, it's always a good idea to update your yields on the farm, because we don't know what the next Farm Bill will be. So if you can better that might help you down the road.
So it's sort of like having a tiger by the tail, I guess. You just sort of have to kind of aim, and you get the information in here, not knowing what the potential next Farm Bill has in it and what kind of programs are out there, right?
Right. Which, if you update it, the PLC yields, if we update it and you go PLC, then those yields will apply for 20 through 23, as long as you're in the PLC program. And we actually have a little bit longer to get the yields updated, because it is a little bit more time consuming. So we have till the end of September to update yields. But if they bring it in right at the moment, we're focusing on that March 15th deadline. So we do have a stack of yields that we're working on in between doing everything else.
Right.
So.
And then last time we were talking about CRP, and that's, I think, is coming up as well, or is real close by, maybe about the same time. I don't know.
Well, the deadline for the general CRP sign up is February the 28th.
So if they don't make that deadline, what does that mean for them, though? I mean, does that mean that we can't do it again for another decade? What does that mean for them if they don't make it?
Well, if they're going to general CRP, which is, most people think of whole fields that are in CRP with that program. If they don't submit an offer, because that's a nationally ranked program, if they don't submit an offer by the 28th, then they're out of luck till they offer another general sign-up. Now, with that said, I think they're planning on offering one every year, but you never know. If they meet all their acres, they might hold off or whatever, because since I've worked with FSA, we haven't had a general sign-up that I've been involved with. So This is the first one we've had in a little while.
Well, and if they say, you know what, I don't even know if I qualify, I'm just not going to mess with it. It's probably nothing anyway. And because you know how they are, they don't want to mess with a whole bunch of paperwork. If they're the ones that are going to have to do it, a lot of times they just don't do it. But if they'll come out there and ask the right questions.
Yes, Dee Dee is really good with CRP, so come by, call. We will see what we can do to help you. And one thing we've been telling some people who maybe have been on the border of, well, I don't know if I want to submit it or not. Well, this time, since they're not going to charge liquidating damages if you are accepted into the program, if you're one of the ones that are above that point criteria, you can opt out as long as we haven't signed a conservation plan that says, yes, this is what I'm willing to do. So if you don't submit by the 28th, I can guarantee you're not going to go in. But if you think that there might be that possibility, come by and talk to us.
Well, and some people, are worried about what they can and can't do. And now that's something else that you can line out for them, right, too. Because there's a lot of them, you know how they are. They sit around and talk to each other. And they say, some of them just don't know. Like in emergency years, it's actually opened up during the drought that, we could use a lot of that land that maybe we couldn't use before for hay and things like that. So, I mean, there's hunting considerations and that sort of thing. So, I mean, you've got all that information there for them.
We do. And it is a 10-year program. So we want to do something that they're going to be happy with for the life of the contract. So we try to make sure that everybody's aware of this is kind of what we expect. And kind of like you had talked about, well, maybe you are a little short on hay. Come talk to us. We can probably, as long as it's not during the nesting season, you might get a reduction in payment, but we can okay that. And then also this time, for some of the management activities in the middle of the contract, there might be an option that we can hay it as part of the plan. So that's one of those things. It's kind of a case-by-case basis on whatever works to make everybody happy to fall within the guidelines.
Well, and that can make the field actually, it's healthy to, get it cut and maintain it and that sort of thing. And for some animals and some species, they kind of like that. That's their thing.
It is. We've got some that are geared really a lot toward wildlife, which all of ours is kind of somewhat geared toward wildlife. But you do some of those native grasses, especially, I know a lot of hunters and stuff like that. But once again, come into the office, talk to us, because everybody's different on what they want and what they think long term. We have a really good relationship with NRCS across the hall. So when you get to some of those technical questions, we don't mind at all going and getting them because they're our technical experts. They're the ones that can say, yeah, this is what's growing out there. I can tell you if you're mowing it correctly or if there's trees or something growing out there. But
wait a minute, there's a right way to mow it? I thought as long as you whacked it down, you were good.
Yeah, no, that's not quite how it goes. There is... You have to either strip mow it or mow half, and that's all laid out in your conservation plan. And we try to make sure everybody is aware because, sometimes there is that miscommunication, and we don't want anybody to be in violation of the contract.
Now, once you're in it, are you locked in? Can you make changes, a little tweak it here or there?
Once you sign up, you are in the program for the 10 or 15 years, depending on which contract period you choose. Now, there are some situations where if you want to change your management activity, we can look and see what we can do there. If you happen to run into some issues and maybe you need to do a little extra, come talk to us. We will make it work to the best of our ability and keep everybody in compliance. Don't go out there and, bush hog the whole field without talking to us first because if we spot check it, that is a violation because you're only supposed to be doing half of it every year.
And are those transferable?
They are. So if you... have property and you decide to sell it within that time frame, they are transferable to the landowner. Now, I will say that if the new landowner doesn't come in and assume the contract, then who we have the contract with is the one responsible. So if you're out talking to somebody about selling the property, you want to make sure that they're on board and have something to say, yes, I'm willing to take it. Now, if you happen to have a death, and the family inherits the property, then they don't necessarily have to assume that contract. Now, they have that choice that if they want to, they can. But that's one of the few exceptions of how you get out of a contract without any penalties, I guess.
I think when it first got, it was really popular back in the day. Everybody was, wanting to get in touch with that and get on board with that. And then everybody goes, oh, I don't know. I think it's just kind of mild and kind of mellowed out now. And I think some more people are getting more, I'm hearing a lot of rumbling where people are actually becoming curious about it again and wanting to get into it when maybe they didn't take advantage of it the last time it was open to them.
We've had several people inquire. I know Dee Dee's ran lots and lots of scenarios. Now, with that said, general sign up, it's a ranking process. You may or may not get in. And like I mentioned before, up until we sign that conservation plan and the actual contract's approved, you still have that option that if for some reason there's just something you just don't like about it, we can get you out at that point. But if you're interested, definitely sign up by the 28th because otherwise I can guarantee you won't get in.
Well, thank you. I think that's awesome because that's something that, can be confusing and a confusing process, and it can be scary. Anytime you're talking about a long-term contract, that's scary.
What are some of the biggest issues and problems that you have with the CRP program in particular, we can go back and talk about, especially, you have online resources to get enrolled, you have different things, but what are some of the snags and the hang-ups, or what are some of the things that we need to maybe be aware of when we're trying to get enrolled and get things properly taken care of?
Well, I'll be honest. There's a lot of programs you can kind of go online, pull the forms, and fill out. CRP is kind of a little bit different with that because it's not a flat form, flat rate.
Right.
Because we take the top 3 predominant soils to determine your rental rate. So come in, let's mark a map. If you want a whole field, that's pretty easy. But if you're wanting some field borders, or maybe for a continuous sign up, you're wanting to do a waterway, let us get the maps marked and discover that and see where we're at. Sometimes the rental rate, once we pull up the soils, people go, I'm not interested. And others are like, okay, I'm still there. I think the biggest thing that we kind of run into is sometimes I think people think with CRP, I go out there and I sow it and I don't have to do anything else with it. Well, that's not how it is. You do have to strip mow it or mow half. And then with our area, I'll be honest, sometimes there's tree problems out there, and you do have to control the trees. If we go out there and it's covered up in trees, that's a big violation.
Well, if they're not mowing it for years, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that, I go out there, I don't have to do anything with it.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
You'll have a field full of blackberries. That's what you're going to have.
Between the thorns and the trees.
That's right.
That's not a good situation. So that's why this time we're really trying to talk about, this is what you'll have to do. If NRCS goes out there and you don't have the right grasses growing for whatever reason, that can be a potential problem, and you might have to resow or do something like that. So that's why we like them to come in the office and talk with us and NRCS, hope if need be at the same time, to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
I'll tell you, I think it's great, if nothing else, because you really get a lot of investigation into your property and what is there and what is not there, maybe is the case at some points, to include in the soil, and that's priceless information.
And you do have to have a cropping history.
Right.
The 4 out of the 6 years, 12 through 17. But we can look that up. We have those on records. So, like I said, come in and talk to Dee Dee. If she's not there, I'll be happy to try to help you too. And
are there penalties, violations if you have someone go out and you see? I mean, what are the consequences of that?
Well, it depends on what it is.
Right.
Just don't do that.
That's the right answer. Just do what you're supposed to. But if, say, for example, they go out there and they plant a crop on it, well, that's a big time violation.
Right.
If we catch it with a crop out there and they refuse to destroy the crop, then we terminate the contract. Well, when we terminate the contract, anything that's been paid, cost share, incentives, anything, you have to pay back. You also are charged liquidating damages, so you pay a little bit more than what you've actually received. Now, if we go out there and you've mowed it all and there wasn't a good faith effort in there, then there could be a reduction in payment. It all varies on the situation, what it is. But worst case scenario, you're not in good faith, then you'll be paying back.
I think intent, and it has a lot to do with it. If they go out there and you've planted tobacco all over the place, they know better. I mean, you're not going to get away with that. But if you go out there and go, I bush hog too much, there's a big difference in the two of that. And I think sometimes there's, everybody gets a little worried and they think, it's Big Brother coming out telling me what I can and cannot do. And that's just not the case. There are so many benefits within that, and there's so many things that you can, things that you're not taking advantage of maybe that are out there that you don't even know are out there. And I think that's the biggest part of it.
Right. And with CRP, from a taxpayer standpoint, we have a contract with you. So we're not going out there trying to tell you what not to do. You have a contract with us. We're paying you every year to maintain it the way that those specs are. But most of the time you don't have them intentionally planning. But occasionally you do run into those kind of things. And that's
they'll never notice.
That's the worst case scenario, probably.
So that CRP deadline's coming up here toward the end of the month.
Or February 28th.
And then, of course, we have our PLC and our ARC programs. That'll be toward March 15th. And anything that we didn't cover, of course, you can get online and look at all this stuff. There's a program fact sheet. You can find out information about that. But I think for questions and answers or someone who really needs some help, they need to probably come by the office,
Yeah,
don't they?
They can come by the office. We're at 501 Parkway Drive, which is right behind Purcell Tire. So pretty easy to get to. Or I know this week there's been a lot of postcards that have went out that has caused some confusion. So if you get a postcard and you think, well, maybe I've already done this, or I'm not real sure. If you're not in town, call our office 270-365-6530 extension 2, and we will be happy to look and see what you need to do.
Well, I know right now this is a time of year when a lot of programs are opening up, a lot of the grants are coming in, a lot of the options for people are kind of opening up, and it can get confusing on which ones you need to renew and which ones you don't. And all it takes is a phone call and you can line that out, right?
Right. Call us if it's a program that NRCS handles. We're happy to transfer you. We swap back and forth all the time. So if you come in and you've heard about something, if we don't know what it is, we try our best to figure out, well, maybe that's next door or maybe it's somebody else, but we'll help you the best we can.
Oh, I think that's awesome. Thank you. And I love that she's a local girl. She's right here from Caldwell, and I love that. Because, well, there comes some comfort, though, to be honest, because when we walk in and we don't know anybody, and especially some of the older farmers, they like to know that, hey, we know your mama.
Yeah.
How's your mama and them? I mean, but there's a comfort that comes along with that. And I think that's fantastic that you're over there, and I love that.
Well, I'm happy to be there, and our staff, they're all live in Caldwell. And I know you're talking about change. There's been a big change in the last couple of years from the staff that had been there for 30 years. Of course, Dee Dee's still around, but we also have Patricia Estes, who lives here in the county. She's happy to help with the ARC PLC programs, and then so we all have local ties.
Well, and don't get me wrong, we all love Dee Dee, but we're glad that you're there. We really are, and that's one of those things that can get stressful, and when you see a friendly face, it makes it a little better.
No doubt about it. Carla Harper here, our County Executive Director for the Caldwell Lion FSA office, USDA office here, and Farm Service Agency. We are discussing about the PLC and the ARC programs, governmental programs, and CRP today, and lots of stuff to get in line and know and learn. Of course, there are some online links and stuff. If you have any questions, again, you can call Carla and the staff out at the office, 270-365-6530. That's extension 2.
Extension 2.
Extension 2. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. That's Tess and Ty, Coffee Talk, Carla Harper, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. You listen to Coffee Talk on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
And here's the WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
All right. A chance of rain with thunderstorms this afternoon, a high 41. Rain tonight. Low down to 34, a chance of rain, maybe a little snow mixed in, ending early tomorrow, a high 37, and then cloudy on Friday, a high near 40. Chance of rain before lunch on Saturday, and a high of 42. Again for today, that chance of rain, may hear a clap of thunder in the afternoon. A high today of 41, cloudy skies, it's 39 at WPKY.
This weather update brought to you by the Cat's Den, where everyone knows your name. Great food at great prices. Come see us. 4000 Farmersville Road, Princeton.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes money is tight when you need it most.
At ABC Finance, we're here for you.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you in a pinch, even if your credit is less than perfect.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000 and the individual attention to help you get your finances back on track.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like ABC Finance on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk. And of course, there's always something going on, and we love to bring people on and tell everybody about it. So if you've got a civic organization, a church, or maybe something going on in your class at school, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, it's real simple. We love getting emails here. You can email us about your event at wpkyonline@gmail.com. You can give us a message on Facebook. Many of us have that. That's a way you can do that. You can also call us, 270-963-9151, and we'll be glad to help you out. Or just come on by the studio here at 1035 West Main Street here in Princeton. And if you have a flyer or something like that, we can help you promote it that way. But love to schedule you if you have a fundraising event or something of community interest here on Coffee Talk between the 8 and 9 hours. So,
well, do you know, the thing that right after I leave here, where I'm going to go probably, I didn't exactly get my biscuit earlier.
Uh-oh.
So what I like to do is I like to eat as soon as I get off the haircut. That's just, I'm always hungry. I don't know. It's about this time. But it makes me think of Kay's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you. Kay's Kitchen is located just a couple of blocks there off the courthouse, right there on North Jefferson, right here in town. And anything from a plate lunch to a cheeseburger to a breakfast, and you can pretty well, if she's open, you can pretty well get any of it.
That's exactly right. Pretty much early in the morning until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then extended hours on Friday because she has fish. So,
that's so good.
But just walk in there. If you like the plate lunch, you can kind of look up on the board, and she has everything listed there, what meats are available and all the good veggies each and every day. She's got a digital board when you walk inside there. And, of course, you can always get a burger, a great sandwich, open-faced roast beef, all kinds of delicious stuff. And if you want breakfast for lunch, hey, you can get it. Kay's Kitchen.
Make sure you go. Tell them we sent you, by the way. We like her knowing who's talking about her.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you, when Carla was here, it reminded me that it is that time of year. So we're going to start seeing some tractors on the road and that sort of thing again. Of course, we got a lot of fertilizing going on. So, I mean, it's that time of year. So make sure that you give them room. Don't get right up on them. Give them some room. You're not in that big of a hurry. You'll be all right. It'll be okay.
As we get towards spring, you just roll down the windows and enjoy the ride and say, hey, you know what? I'm blessed to be in rural Western Kentucky, riding down the road with my window open, the fresh air coming in, and, I'm thanking a farmer at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you, I am bad about that as well. Don't get me wrong. I live on a farm. I am a farmer, and I'm bad about, going, oh, man, come on, I'm in a hurry. And that's, you need to pay attention and you need to slow down. And a lot of times, you know what, it's just a couple of minutes, really and truly. It's not going to, make or break the entire day.
Not at all.
So just make sure that you give them lots of room and kind of pull over if you can. And because I promise you fit in a lot more spots than they do.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And I know a lot of people say, well, they can go right through that ditch with that. Nope. No, not necessarily. So just give them plenty of room. I saw a couple of guys out yesterday, God bless them, in the thick of it. Even though it was pouring down rain, they still had to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that everybody just kind of, it's that time of year.
You think they were hanging out at the shop?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pouring down rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
the one I saw, I got behind one yesterday. Believe it or not, it was pouring down rain, and I got behind one. So
we did want to thank Rhonda Jewell from the 4-H office. Yep, there's a guy.
There goes. There goes a bush hog.
He's got a bush hog back there. For being here today, lots of great information about our Caldwell County 4-H and all their activity, and of course the ham project well underway, and we'll get the benefits of that later on here in a few weeks.
I love seeing those two ladies back to back too, because it's like the beginner of agriculture right there. When you talk about 4-H, that's where our agriculture is starting and just kind of starting out and kicking the tires. Because she was talking about them getting together and learning how to sow and how to grow things and that sort of thing. And then you see Carla come in and that, you talk about CRP and you talk about crops and there you go.
And 4-H week's coming up this month
full
too.
Circle.
Yeah, 4-H. I mean, not 4-H. FFA week's coming up toward the end of the month, middle part of the month, and so. A lot to celebrate in the world of agriculture, and we certainly appreciate our guest here today. And reminding everyone that if you are around the computer, guess what? We've got a great sale going on in the Deal Store today.
We do.
So we want you to get up to speed on that. You don't need any kind of code word for that.
Nope.
It's just get on there and shop, and it's an extra 15% off the already great prices that are in there today. So it's kind of like a pre-Valentine sale. Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
I loved that commercial earlier where she said, you know what? Don't just go grab the chocolate. We can help you out. We can make you a wiener
That's exactly right. So, yeah, great deals. No code needed. 15% off of the already great prices in our Big Deal store. That's at WPKYonline.com. And just find the banner at the top that says Loyal Listener Big Deals. You'll see probably a Valentine heart and all kinds of good stuff up there. Click on it and shop and have a good time and find you some great deals today.
Well, if you haven't heard us, really talking much about the game or anything, and if you're thinking we're not crazy. It was canceled last night. Yeah. Girls had just kind of gotten started. They did get canceled, and the boys, right. Of course, he was supposed to play right after because it was a doubleheader because of a leaking roof. If I can get that out.
That's right.
So we'll let you know what that one's going to be. I'm sure they're going to try anyway, but Todd's probably going to have a whole lot more on that on Thursday on the Sideline Report, whether or not they were able to get that rescheduled. But we are playing on Friday, so make sure you tune in for that. If you can't, attend, then you can always tune in at WPKYonline.com and get the lowdown and all the latest on that and catch up on scores and highlights.
That's right. And go to yoursportsedge.com and check out all the great picks Todd will have, and the story will be up there as well as the games are played. So, wealth of resources. And if you missed the newscast, WPKY Online is your resource for that as well. News throughout the day updated on our website, as well as obituaries, weather, and all kinds of good stuff on there. So check it out at WPKYonline.com.
And if you've got birthdays tomorrow, make sure you get those in for today, right?
That's right.
Don't do tomorrow what you could do today.
Don't put it off.
I wish I could remember who said that. I guess I said that today, huh?
Yeah, you did.
WPKYonline@gmail.com.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
News. I'm Chris Foster. He calls it the Great American Comeback. President Trump in his third State of the Union address.
The president vowed to rebuild the nation's infrastructure and move to a merit-based immigration system.
Welcoming those who follow the rules, contribute to our economy, support themselves financially, and uphold our values.
Talk show host Rush Limbaugh, diagnosed with advanced cancer, was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom presented by First Lady Melania Trump.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. 2 flights of Americans evacuated from Wuhan, China, have arrived in California to escape the spread of a deadly new virus known as 2019-NCOV. Viruses used to be named for their place of origin, but that hurt those places' reputation.
We are really trying to be as neutral as possible, but as helpful as possible as well.
Dr. Sylvie Brienne with the World Health Organization says coming up with a name would be helpful for the global response. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos.